Feyenoord cooked us, but I don't think that's going to happen again at all here.
I do think Bayern Munich are going to come out on top. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher than people think. Solid.
With Bayern playing Pafos in the Champions League this week coming up, a lot of Bayern fans are probably overlooking this team, and probably a lot of people in the footballing world are just overlooking this team and not even giving a second glance, which, to be honest, is fair, in my opinion. But there's a much deeper story when it comes to Pafos' journey to the UCL. It's actually insane. Being a team from such a small league like Cyprus, from the country of Cyprus, I mean, it's their first time being in the Champions League as well. Alongside that, it's actually insane that they're even in the Champions League. There's just so much that went into them getting into the Champions League, and even being able to play a team like Bayern Munich is absolutely amazing for them.
All right, so let's talk about Pafos. Obviously, Bayern Munich played them. Everyone's just kind of looking past this game, think it's going to be a 3-4-0 win. I mean, fair enough, like what Joey said, fair enough, but their story is definitely fantastic. They started last season, 2024-2025, in the Europe Conference League. Fantastic. That's their first European debut and whatnot. They cooked, essentially. They got into 12th place in the Conference League. They played against teams like Fiorentina, only losing 3-2 to Fiorentina. Pretty decent for sure. Then they made it to the playoffs. They beat Omonia, another Cyprus team, a pretty decent team as well, who had some, definitely some decent players in there. They beat them in the playoffs as well. And then after that, they played against a Swedish team, which basically made it to the semifinals. I'm not even going to try and pronounce their name. I know I'm going to butcher it. But yeah, they made it to the semifinals of the Conference League last season as well. And they unfortunately lost 3-1 on aggregate. But they did beat them at home, so for sure. I would say pretty much a solid debut in Europe for sure. I would say round of 16 is pretty solid for sure. I mean, that's absolutely fantastic for their standards. On top of that as well, in the 2024-2025 season, they won the league by 1 point. The same goal difference as this team in second place as well. 62 points to 61, I do believe. Now, winning the league in Cyprus gets you a UCL qualification. With the UCL qualification, they played two teams that they probably should have lost to for sure, that have a lot of European experience. Joey, lock this in. What are those teams?
Pafos absolutely did the impossible, and they beat two, as my buddy mentioned, European, not giants, but regulars, I would say. Those two teams, Red Star Belgrade and Dynamo Kiev, teams that no one probably expected them to beat at all. We've seen them in the Champions League throughout the 2010s. I'm not sure about the 2020s, but definitely in the 2010s, I remember them being around a lot in the Champions League, being a formidable force in the group stages and whatnot at least. And I mean, the team from Cyprus, Pafos, just comes in and sure, they didn't beat them by a crazy amount, but they got the win at the end of the day.
What is the guy yapping about? Red Star Belgrade are a top Champions League. They won the Champions League in the 90s. Let me tell you, they're definitely up there in terms of Champions League winners. Heck, even more Champions League wins than Arsenal. Lock that in for sure. And the same amount as PSG. So Red Star Belgrade are a bigger team than that. Lock this in. But yeah, I mean, listen, absolutely fantastic. They beat Dynamo Kiev, pretty decent UCL team, and then they beat Red Star Belgrade. And we know Red Star Belgrade is a tough place to essentially play your football, whatnot. It's a really great atmosphere, probably one of the best atmospheres in Europe. Really scary to play there for sure, according to lots of players as well. So listen, the fact that they beat them, absolutely fantastic from there. And then now we move on to the Champions League match day one. They play against Olympiacos, a team that won the Conference League not too long ago, two years ago and whatnot. I believe they won it in 2023, and they drew to them away from home, 0-0 with a red card as well. So listen, a vital point away from home against a team like Olympiacos, who have lots of European experience as well. Like I mentioned, they won the Conference League 2 years ago. So listen, that's definitely a big start. We could tell that Pafos, the Cyprus League, are definitely rising for sure. I mean, listen, they've been cooking. I think they have like 2 or 3 Cyprus teams in the Conference League, I believe, if I'm not too mistaken. So listen, they've been cooking. I know they had a bunch last year as well. So listen, they have been cooking. I know I said that like 5 times, but they have been for sure. And now they have some decent players in their team too. So I'm gonna let Joey take care of this one.
2 players you might remember that they actually have on their team right now. First of all is David Luiz. I mean, he's got the stature. He's got, we all know David Luiz for who he is, but I mean, what is he gonna do at the end of the day in the Champions League against Bayern? We're talking about that match specifically, but they do have him, and that means something, with the experience he has and whatnot in playing in these tournaments. And on top of that, they have Orsic, who, if you don't remember, played for Dinamo Zagreb and actually scored a hat trick against Tottenham in the UCL. They'll lock that in. Hopefully he doesn't recreate that against us. He can recreate it just after this match day. And yeah, those are the 2 key players that, from Europe back in the day that we remember, and they have them right now on their squad. So definitely a talented squad. And so now the part you've all been waiting for, reason you're here is Bayern Munich versus Pafos. Let's get into it. Enough yapping about their come up. It doesn't matter for Bayern Munich. We all know what's going to happen. Sure, they've had their upsets. Sure, they've had their journey of beating big, European teams and whatnot and grabbing that valuable draw against Olympiacos. Great Greek team. But sorry, buddy, your road ends here. Bye-bye. Your first loss in the UCL. Lock that in, unfortunately. Unfortunately for Bayern.
I mean, Bayern Munich have a really great advantage coming into this game because, as we know, Bayern Munich played Werder Bremen on Friday. That gives them an extra 2 or 3 days to rest coming for that Cyprus game. And I believe Pafos actually play on that Sunday or that Saturday and whatnot. So Bayern Munich, they do have an extra rest. Obviously, I know this is probably just a really BS excuse, of course, but that's also just a huge advantage that Bayern Munich have as well. And we know that Bayern Munich have been cooking, haven't lost in 11 games. And yeah, obviously we know that Bayern Munich destroyed Werder Bremen and they played their youngsters. Nicholas Jackson came on. I know I say youngsters, Nicholas Jackson, but you know what I'm trying to say here. Wisdom, Mike, Leonard, Carl, all these players came on and whatnot. So we got a lot of rest, no injuries thus far and whatnot. So yeah, absolutely fantastic. I don't think we should be underestimating this Pafos team. They actually have some experience in their team, obviously with the 2 players that we mentioned, but there's obviously some great players they have as well. I remember back in 2016, I think we were drawn with PSV, Rostov, and Atletico Madrid for 16-17 season. I remember we needed to win against Rostov to have a fight in the Champions League, like first place in our group. Atletico Madrid got it. Why did they get it? We obviously did lose to Atletico in the first leg, but we also lost to Rostov 3-2 in a tough setting like Russia as well. Now, Cyprus, it's probably easier to play than Russia, of course, but the fact is, Pafos fans are going to be there. Obviously, it's going to be harder and whatnot, but let's not underestimate them. I do think Bayern Munich are going to win, and maybe they should probably win comfortably, of course, and I'm obviously leeching for those 6 points because, beat Chelsea. I think we should be definitely beating Pafos as well, but let's not underestimate because remember last year we lost to Villa when we were the clear favorites. Remember when we lost to Feyenoord as well when we were the clear favorites as well, 3-0 as well. So that's where I'm going to say this, but I do think Bayern Munich are going to come out on top. I think it's going to be a little bit tougher than people think. I think I'm going to go for a 2-0 win. Solid 2-0 win.
This is a completely type of different underdog. I mean, Aston Villa play in the top of the English league, and they were cooking last season. They lost Duran, the player that haunted us. So, I mean, there was a completely different squad, and, I mean, Company was new to coaching the UCL and whatnot, and he had a lot less experience, and I think so far this season is going a lot better than last season, even though it's very early. And on top of that, the other upset, Feyenoord, I mean, again, another top league, sure, maybe not top 5, but we all know the Netherlands league is very, very high quality, and when we look at the Cyprus league, sure, we talked about how it's rising and whatnot, but you can't compare it to the Netherlands and the Eredivisie. So yeah, Feyenoord cooked us, but I don't think that's going to happen again at all here. Definitely not. Maybe the only thing I could see happening is it'll be a close game because Company decides to rest some of the starting players, but I don't know, he might be too scared to do that after how the UCL fell off last season. It might be too important of a competition to rest players. So yeah, my prediction, I would just say I'll just do a cheeky 3-0, then the youngsters maybe come in. Nothing crazy, just a standard UCL Bayern match. Lock that in. Probably a pretty boring game, to be honest. I think Bayern will just, wrap it up 2-0 pretty fast, and then it'll just coast from there. Maybe grab one in the second half, and that'll be kind of it. Penalty for Harry Kane incoming, though. You heard it here first.
I mean, if we're going to go based off what Joey said, it'd be 3-0. We should probably be first place at that point because I think we would have a +5 goal difference for sure. So I do think probably we would be first place. I mean, obviously there's other games too that I could play. But yeah, hopefully that's the case. And I think that'll be absolutely fantastic because then we will have Club Brugge next. And that should be hopefully at 9 points out of 9 because of the Allianz Arena. But then the tough games are going to come with PSG, Arsenal and whatnot, even like Sporting and whatnot and PSV. So definitely need to keep these 3 points and whatnot. Definitely got to just score a bunch of goals and whatnot. Let's go for it. I think Bayern Munich definitely got this and whatnot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed just talking about Pafos and whatnot and just talking about Bayern Munich prediction and whatnot. So yeah, let us know in the comments down below what you guys think about the game, about Pafos in general. Should they even be in the UCL? Are they fraudulent? I don't think so. I think it's definitely well deserved. But yeah, let us know in the comments down below and peace.